Aquarius, welcome to your 3-month overview. That is January, February, March. So let's go over the board I'm using for you and all 12 signs as it concerns the new year. The top row is the major arcana that aligns with the months that are 1. January, the Magician. 2. February, the High Priestess. 3. March, the Empress. The bottom row is the energy that is most prevalent at the beginning of the year, such as the Fool. What are we opening up towards? Do we have that feeling in us? New beginning, new start, fresh. The freshness of heart, spirit, mind, etc. Very common at the beginning of the year. And the World, writing on the back of that, what we should close off. It's done. Job complete. It won't complete. It's not good for us. Let it go. Both of these combined is what we typically refer to as New Year's resolution. Okay, this is what I'm not bringing into the new year. This is what I'm going to bring into the new year. And then Hanged Man, time out. Not really ready to open up or close off, somewhere in between. I need more thought or perspective. Okay? All right, let's get cracking. Show me Aquarius, please, in January. Show me Aquarius in January. Show me Aquarius, please, in January. Show me Aquarius, please, in January. Show me Aquarius, please, in January. Show me Aquarius, please. Thought I'd do a little bit of old school today. I first started the channel, I was going through a heavy, I don't know, athletic baseball tee type look. I don't know, I go through phases. That's why I wear a little bit of everything. I don't believe in being constricted to one style. But back when I first started the channel, I pretty much lived in baseball sleeves and compression sleeves. It's just nice to kind of get back into that simplicity today. But yeah, I don't like being confined to one style, but I do remember in that first year, it was like this all day, every day. What's going on? Ace of Wands, eh? Oh, Justice. Everybody's pulling this. That's great. I like this. I like this. Straight away, people have shown me consistently 2 concepts, and I promise you I shuffle these cards multiple times in between readings, never mind what you see on camera. And people are showing me I need more balance. Everybody can do with a little bit more balance at the beginning of the year. I completely agree. We're recalibrating. Makes sense. And then also, shit's over. It's over. 10 of Swords, the World, the 6 of Swords, boom, right at the opening. So somewhere in between the two of rededicating balance to one sense of calibration, spiritually, as well as your everyday 3D activities, to I'm not messing with that anymore, Christina. I said so. So you're right up there. But I like what you're showing me. I do like this a lot. You're showing me high levels of enthusiasm and really, again, a strong dedication of self to the idea of new. You look very sparked up, you look very lively, but with a really level sense of practicality attached to it. So Justice here isn't just balance, guys, it's the sense of spiritual correctness within ourselves. Do I feel even? Right? And that's always a good feeling. I saw it very clearly in somebody else in terms of that dedication to I'm going to stay on top of things this year. You're showing me something similar, but with a certain level of enthusiasm that says, I am excited, Ace of Wands. I'm looking forward to this year, and then boom, you're kicking it off with communication as well. 8 of Wands. What you're conveying, I don't know, but you're showing me high levels of enthusiasm. Like you mean it. You really mean it. You feel it. You want that feeling to come through, to flow through. I'm excited by the new year. I'm showing myself balance this year. I'm going to stay on top of my communication. And you're also showing me I'm going to really dedicate myself to positive enthusiasm, positive thinking, positive action, positive communication. I like this. I do. I like that, because you're right. It is all about that kind of mindset, right? So it's not enough to dedicate ourselves towards it. We have to act through it, act on it. Cinnamon is currently under my desk, and oh my goodness, she's a snorer. She's taking a nap right now. Can you hear that? She is 3 months old. Snores like a grown person. Goodness me, I'll tell you what. It's amazing. It's amazing. She's amazing. She's an amazing puppy. Let me tell you, I've worked with some dogs before, but honestly, she makes it look easy. She's making it look easy. And that's a misconception with puppies, particularly huskies. They're a challenging breed, so you do not get a husky unless you are prepared for that challenge. And I would tell you, she's making it look easy. So, or I am that person that does tend to over-prepare, so maybe I'm more prepared than I knew, but somewhere between the two of us, it's pretty awesome. Okay, that's enough of that. I just had to point that out, but I tell you what, honey, she's a snorer. Ooh. All right. I like this. I like your dedication to enthusiasm, your communication's on point, you feel right with you. You're talking to people. You're saying, this is the year. This is the year. You know, not to be cheesy, but you know, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It's kind of what you're saying to me, but like, in a realistic way. What else, please? For, you know, who knows, honey? It's very, very common for signs to have energy spikes pre-season. That could be it for you as well. As we enter Aquarius season right after Capricorn. It's right in that transition, you know. Okay. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. You know. Sense of balance right there. Again, temperance, you know. Queen of Pentacles, comfort zone. So your material world's on point as well. I love this. This is so fantastic. This is fantastic, you guys. Temperance, Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles. You're saying this is my year. I've hit my stride. Materially speaking, you're saying you've hit your stride. That there's nothing there in the material world that you haven't already worked through and it feels good to you. In that sense, you look quite comfortable. Okay, so that just didn't randomly appear in January. No, that took time with temperance here. You have developed your own particular sense of comfort zone. That is excellent. You maintain all the proper balances. I love this. Your day-to-day affairs, businesses, contracts are on point. And that took time to accumulate that particular level, again, of material success, comfort zone, etc. So this was already in play, and it's kind of like, I think that's why you're showing me such a strong dedication of really doing right by you, showing positivity, looking forward to new things, and communicating that you're looking forward to new things because your comfort zone's established. And it took time to create that, so well done. Good job. And I typically see something like this with earth signs, so if you have strong earth in your chart, this might explain it. But that sense of I need my material world, my 3D world to feel comfortable, and then I can be open up to exploration. So you might have a heavy dose of influence there on that earth side, but I like this. I like that. I'm going to have a positive mindset this year. I'm gonna. I love it. I'm not saying you're perfect, honey, but I love how you are greeting the new year. I really do. That's great. I saw some things where you're like, oh, dang. And I'm glad people are doing what they need to do by January, get it done. They don't want it to carry over into the new year. I respect that. So what you're showing me is really lovely. And light. I'm not saying you won't have trials and tribulations. Of course you will. Everybody does. That's what it is to be human. But your mindset says, come with me. I can deal with it. Show me February, please. I like this. Your monetary world looks balanced. It looks tight. Comfortable. Took time. Okay. And that, some of you might have some strong little dash of Sag there. There's enthusiasm there about that. Like, this is my year. I'm going to open up this year. I'm going to open up. I'm excited. I'm psyched. I'm psyched, baby. Yeah, you are. All right. Show me Aquarius, please, in February. Oh, excuse me. We have a little cold front in Central Texas. We're still in fall, even though it's technically December. We don't have much of a winter. We call it February. That's when it kind of gets cold, but we actually had a cool front. And now I got the sniffles every time. All right. There's the Ten of Swords, Six of Swords, Five of Cups. I like that. Wow. I'm not saying it's pretty. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not fun. But there is a strong dedication to leave behind that which hurts you, ails you, or is long since parted ways with. Okay. To really essentially not bear grudges in February. Okay. It's best left behind. Whatever that is behind is best left there in the past. I see you contemplating the Five of Cups, old aches and pains and owies of the past. Echoes that sometimes they crop up and they haunt us and they take us away from our present orientation. You're saying that you have some old echoes that occasionally pop up. And yes, it hurts with the Ten of Swords, but you're showing me dedication to leave the echoes behind. It doesn't even look like current pain in February. By current, I mean something bad is happening in February. That's not what I'm saying. There's something about February that every now and again you feel an echo of sadness. Now, February for some of you Aquarians might have a very significant concept attached to it. An anniversary marker, a sense of old feelings that for some reason spike around February for you. You're saying, I see that, I acknowledge it, I'm not doing that this year. I'm not going to let it completely overtake February. You're saying you're not going to drift away with the echoes of the past like you've done before. It's incredibly distinct. It is, again, not anticipated pain in February. It's, I'm not going to indulge in sadness this year. It's done. And like I often say to everybody, if it's done, let it be done. And you're showing me mental levels of resignation around that. I know it's coming. I always have this particular sense of sadness and or loss around February. I'm not participating in it this year. Not this year. Things are different for me this year. I got a brand new attitude. Okay? You won't let yourself get carried away with the sadness. You know, and if for some of you who experienced fairly intensive loss around February, I'm sorry. You know, grief anniversaries are a real thing. If you've ever experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. And it's non-specific here. It's past, but the pain can still come up in February as fresh, even though it's not a fresh hurt or owie. Make sense? We're not doing that this year, you said. Oh no. Grief anniversaries are very specific to people. Typically, there's one of two reactions. People take a moment, a day, a week, or whatever, and that particular anniversary to honor the moment, to feel it, to allow themselves to grieve annually. And that's perfectly fine. That's normal. And then there's some folks who are like, you know, a whole week or month can't be dedicated to that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to build different associations with that particular anniversary. So, okay. Regardless, I support your decision in this. You know, I do. I support your decision in this. All right. Anything else here, please, in February for Aquarius? Some of you often have to travel in February because of that particular anniversary, and you don't want to do it anymore. If that makes sense. You don't feel the need to do it anymore. Participate in it or travel towards it. You're saying you don't have to do that anymore, or that you don't want to, or you don't need to. You respect and honor others who might have to do that, but you don't want to do it anymore. Again, that's up to you. And I support your decision. 4 Swords, 4 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you said you've done your particular work on this subject. You have healed about holding on to this particular marker. You say you don't need it anymore. You're releasing it. Good job. No, I can understand where this portion, so take it resonates, if it does not. So for some of you, this probably makes a lot of sense. This is so overarching. I can definitely see where many Aquarians can identify with this piece. Some of you have no clue what I'm talking about here in February, and that's fine. You don't need to. It's not for you. The Aquarius I'm looking at says, I don't want this to be for me either. No more Februarys are going to be like this. You've done your due course on this. 4 Swords, 4 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. No more investing and grieving. You've come to terms with it, and it's not that it's not with you. Page of Pentacles, a little piece of you will always hold on to it, but you're not going to have a grip on it with the 4 of Pentacles anymore. You've put that to rest. It's something you don't need to observe or participate in anymore. So, congratulations to you. I strongly, firmly, adamantly believe in celebrating all endings, including the endings of endings. That's the thing. Holding on to an ending is absolutely the thing. Most people associate it with heartbreak. It can go so much more beyond that. You know? There's something special in that recognition when you feel it. It's a very distinct feeling. I can let go of that ending now. I can let go of that loss now. I don't need to look at February and feel a sense of dread, loss, and remorse. I can let that go now. So that in and of itself is a huge milestone. You know? Congratulations. That's beautiful. Not everybody has to understand it. They don't need to. So long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. Okay. All right. Let's see you in March. Show me Aquarius in March, please. Show me Aquarius in March. Show me Aquarius in March. Ooh. Excuse me. Show me Aquarius in March. Ten of Wands. Okay, a death, the moon. Wow. Whoa. Back up. Hold on. What is this, please? I'm glad to see a burden's coming to an end. That's fantastic. And one that looks, it could be, I don't know that it's necessarily related, but there is also an ending here. This is present-oriented. No. Something else in March is present-oriented, something that is considered very laborious to you, that you've been carrying for years. You're saying that's done as well. So this is the parting of ways, is something that's largely interpreted as old pain. You don't need to see it or recognize it anymore. This is something else that's being shed. What is this, please? It's been under your moon for a long time. What is this? You associate it with burden and having to carry it like a burden. A secret. You're saying that's over, death. What is this, please? What is this, please, in March? What is this, please, in March? It's like I don't need to carry this anymore. What is this? Strength. The Sun. The Seven of Cups. Okay. I can't really gauge what it is. I do know that when you drop your bundle, okay, when you do part ways with something that you consider to be extremely heavy, it's interesting. First you eschew or shed echoes of the past. You won't look at that anymore. It won't stop you in your tracks anymore. Okay. You're done with this particular grieving process. Then I have you over here in March, what looks like clearing up more space for you personally in the present day. I don't know what your Ten of Wands is, but I do know this. The only clue I have is that it's a Ten of Wands. It's under the moon. Something that you insist is not heavy or burdensome. It actually is. And it has been for a long time. Death. You're doing away with that too. I don't know what the bundle is. But the idea that it's been under the moon is like you saying, the heaviness of this, it's not heavy at all. I can keep carrying it. So that's the only clue I have for you when it comes to this. Whatever it is you have been telling yourself for a long time, I can keep carrying this. I can keep carrying this. I can keep carrying it. It's not heavy. It's not heavy. It's really fucking heavy. No, it's not. It's not heavy. It's not heavy. I can keep carrying that forever and ever. That's been under the moon. That kind of delusion that you can just keep on keeping on when whatever that is that constitutes so much heaven, it's death. You're letting that go. You want to. You've been wanting to for such a long time. It's almost like this is inspiring you, isn't it? The fact that you can let this go, you don't have to look at it, celebrate it, or honor it anymore. It's almost like it inspires you that you can finally part ways with this. When people make changes, it shows. What do I say all the time, guys? No change plus no change equals no change. So guess what happens when we make change? Change plus change equals change. You're showing me real changes. Real changes just within the first 3 months of the new year. And they are phenomenal. So when you opened up with that mindset, you weren't joking. And it wasn't a temporary resolution. You meant it. And it's beautiful. When you said, I'm going to be open to new experiences this year, you understood that to show true balance, it's not just being open to new things. Showing yourself balance also means knowing when to close things off. I completely agree. It's just for some reason, people associate balance as just positivity. No, weighing the scales means you have to know when something's up and when it's down, and it won't fix. That's one of the obligations of being the emperor, the empress, justice, to know what is and know what isn't. And the flow through here is amazing. This is inspiring. This is really inspiring. There's a lovely soft sigh in you around February surrounding the subject. Even you can't believe that you're finally ready to part ways with it, to stop observing it. And it kind of leads you into this. I think I can acknowledge how long I've been carrying this, and that I don't need to, and I don't want to. It's a very simple, clean death, if I'm being honest with you. You make it look so simple. You really do. The Aquarius I'm looking at, you making it look so simple, and it's anything but. It's anything but. And your relief, and when I mean relief, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm talking about. To see the relief in you. Look at that. Strength, Sun, the Seven of Cups. It takes like 1,000 weights off your chest, and it's like you can breathe. It's like I can breathe. You can breathe. It's what you used to say in counseling, and many people still do. So long as you can breathe, you can get through the next moment. You can get through the next second. You can get through the next minute. You can get through the next 10 minutes, so on and so forth. So long as you can breathe. And you doing away with whatever that bundle represents, the one that has long-standing practice under your moon. You didn't know how heavy it was until you let it go. You really did. And that's true for most people who keep things under the moon. I had no idea how much this hurt me or was problematic until I let it go. And then the true weight of it and how long it's always been there, impeding my progress, impeding me, not good for me. Dear God, I can breathe. You're showing me optimism now that you let this go. Optimism for yourself. I think it's what you intended to do back here, and showing yourself justice, communicating it, backing it up, living it, acting through it. And now you can breathe. You can do more than breathe, honey. You feel alive. You feel borderline reborn. Can't say I'm surprised. I think I saw something like that for you very, very recently, possibly your Sunday Shuffle. That has been an ongoing kind of theme for Aquarius. Restructuring, rebirth. For some of you, reconciliation under rebirth. You do feel like you're born again, and you can breathe. Okay, that's beautiful. You can breathe, honey. Okay, this is lovely. I like this. I don't need to recognize this sadness anymore. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to keep reflecting on it every February or beginning of the year, whatever the context is correct for you. For some of you, it's a flow through of January to February, February to March. Then March, you really let something go. Past pain, something current that's been with you for a long time and you acted like it wasn't. And that's when you begin to breathe again and you feel the hope, and it fills your lungs, fills your chest. Show me the Fool, please. Show me the Fool. Show me the Fool. Show me that Fool, please. Show me that Fool, please, for Aquarius. Show me that Fool, please, for Aquarius. Show me that Fool, please. Seven of Cups emphasized there for some of you. When this is parted ways with, you'll feel the optimism and sense of hope again, because some of you will have options in love. Okay? FYI, but I just see your heart space gently opening up in a sense of positivity, which again you opened up with that sense of hope for yourself and future. Okay? But yes, emphasis on that Seven of Cups for some of you. Okay? The Fool, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Cups, the Devil. Some of you have been terrified to take off in new directions for a long time. It's looking like it's a devil that's been conquered. You stopped feeding it. Congratulations. When you realized how empty a practice it is to feed the devil, you have to be so tired. You have to be so exhausted. You have to be so emotionally drained before you realize that devil is never satisfied. So what is he like in this context? In this context, it is a sense of don't dare take a risk, don't dare change, don't be the fool, don't open up, bad things will happen. So it's a very overarching concept, but that's fine. This is an internal process right here. I'm not saying it is external, because the Fool, again, is conditioned upon us and how we are experiencing the world, ourselves, or how we would like to. And you're saying you haven't been able to open up in a very long time, because this guy, who is essentially a black hole, there's not enough in the world to feed it. You have to become so exhausted and emotionally numb. And I realize that your absence of change, no change plus no change equals no change, really comes down to that, asshole. You've been wanting to open up and let things go for years. People think opening up is just, I'm going to take a risk today. I'm going to go to that new coffee shop. It's so funny. No. Being the Fool requires a certain level of bravery, but not thinking of it that way. It's just a spirit to open up and try new things. And that could be to be different in any way. But if we're afraid to change, or we don't trust the unknown, time passes, the Wheel of Fortune, we become numb to our own sense of opening up because we're afraid to let things go. What happens if I stop acknowledging this? What happens if I stop carrying this bundle? I don't want to know. Put that shit under the moon. And sometimes you have to go really far out from yourself to realize how you're supposed to come back. I mean, sometimes you have to get way out there to realize how to come home, but in the way that you want. And it's not what that guy says. It's what that guy says. Some of you have been wanting to open up for years, but you've been terrified. For one reason or another, you've been terrified to let things go, to stop being afraid of the past. You know, being open to change means being open to vulnerability. And that's scary for a lot of people. But you opened up with acknowledgement that my material world is good and I'm secure. There's no reason why I can't make changes that are a better reflection of who I am today as opposed to how I was 10 years ago. Exactly. Who you are today is not the same Aquarius that you were 10 years ago, 20 years, etc. It's today that counts, not yesterday. So when I tell you stop mourning whatever this is by February, you stop looking at it. I need to take a whole month out of my year to sadly acknowledge something that happened years ago. You saying you don't need to do that anymore. That defied the devil. You letting go of this particular bundle has defied your devil. So the fact that you are showing me emotional numbness attached to him and then you starting to open up is not a surprise. Why? Because you're going against the devil. That's why. Whatever it is that has kept you held back, that's a personal devil. That's not an external devil. That's an internal devil. So when I'm telling you, you look like you're being born again, that's exactly what the feeling is. Because now, you're not doing that. So when I'm telling you, it feels like there's a huge weight coming off your chest. That's exactly what that looks like. I want to get a better idea of this world, please. This ending that we have been trying not to acknowledge for some time. The Fool's done. It's self-explanatory. You're opening up in a beautiful way and from a place of security, and that's right for you. Good. It's done. I don't need to explore it further. Show me the world, please. Show me the world, please. Show me the world. Show me the world, please, for Aquarius. Show me that world, please. The Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, Death. That's what it is, my love. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. So that's why you had that thing about I'm not going to acknowledge it. It's not a Ten of Wands. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard, Christina. Just under the moon. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Death is here twice. I knew it was substantial. I knew it was substantial. I knew. Because you didn't want to show me. But honey, you can't have a couple of majors like that over 10 of Wands and then act like it ain't nothing. It's something. I just know that when you stop acting like it ain't nothing and you are well and truly ready to part ways with it, I can see why you didn't want it to be a big deal. That's denial. Okay? Denial's normal. Alright? With the moon, denial. Okay? We didn't want to acknowledge it. Here's Death again. Chariot, Ten of Pentacles. Over the world. What we're exiting. And why you're showing me magnificent levels of peace. And being able to breathe again. This foundation, whatever that is to you, and people ask me what that means. Ten of Pentacles, foundation. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the seat of your life. And also not just you. Okay? It's everything that you have managed to accumulate to this day that affects everyone. So this is community, family, friends, career, household structure, everything where your 3D energy has added up with other people involved. So in other words, not simple. It's the tree of life. What about that sounds simple? Have you ever seen a tree of life? The roots touch everything. That's why it's connected to network connectivity. It touches everything. The network is huge. So there's a whole way of life here that your heart, the chariot, the most invested part of our movement via its intensity, has not wanted to move towards that Ten of Pentacles in God knows how long. But you minimized it. I can see why you minimized it. Being able to say, I don't want this foundation anymore, what I have built, takes what you might call a fair amount of balls. Think about it, you built it. That didn't happen overnight, and other people are involved. So in other words, not easy. It's not easy to develop a Ten of Pentacles, therefore it's also not easy to exit the Ten of Pentacles. To say it takes balls to finally part ways with something that is grossly dissatisfying, it's more cost than it is anything else. It's a Ten of Pentacles then that's not stable. The whole point of it is that it works for everybody. A lot of people. May not be for everybody, but the people who participate in it, those are your Ten of Pentacles, okay? And it's not always the easiest. Honestly, it takes more work to maintain a Ten of Pentacles than it does to create it. But let's say it's created and you don't like it. This constant state of repairs. You don't seem to get much back from it. It's shaky at best. It's not stable. There's not enough appreciation, love, or stability, those kind of things. How do you admit that to yourself? You don't. You say, yeah, it's hard, but it's not that bad. The moon. When you stop denying that, and it's going to take you strength, you're going to feel born again. This false foundation, when it's done, you will breathe many sighs of relief. And then some. You opened up with a modest, I'm stable. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, that's pretty sweet. Right about there. So when I'm telling you, you shaved off about 4 pentacles, because 6 plus 4 equals 10. So you shaved off about 4 pentacles here, and you feel a lot more stable at your opening. Yeah, makes sense. You're maintaining the parts that are actually working for you, and you're letting go of the ones that don't. So I don't know who or what else composes that Ten of Pentacles, but those are the pieces you are relinquishing. You are keeping the ones that work, the ones that are balanced, and doing away with the parts that do not. You're saying your heart's not in it anymore. I believe you. Okay. That was pretty straightforward. Yeah, it does go back to that, doesn't it? All right, let's see that Hanged Man, please. Anything else that requires additional perspective? I mean, who knows? Maybe there are certain things here that you're just not recognizing or acknowledging as being part of your foundation anymore, and you're tired of mourning it. In other words, carrying it on. I did see that 4 of Pentacles right here, 4 of Swords. You came to terms with it. But we zip on over here to March, and it's a little bigger than we understood. So past stuff that you no longer want to maintain, and present day stuff that you're coming to terms with. That is anti-foundation. You didn't realize, I think, how unstable it was until you started dropping pieces of it. Okay. And don't you feel born again? I mean, you start to see possibilities and other things outside of you. For the first time in a long time, you're starting to feel the strength of positivity, of emotionality outside of whatever this is. In other words, it freed you up in many ways. Okay, let's see that Hanged Man. Show me that Hanged Man. Show me that Hanged Man. This is good stuff. This is why I like doing predictive readings, what you're showing me today. Most people are still obsessing about other things. But yours is a lot more. That don't mean that to be dismissive. It's just, love will always be a focus, but it's nice to see something a little bit more, I don't know. A little bit more in the size and scale of scope of improvement and progress and deep reflection, but also living it. It's really nice to see this. Four of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. Okay. Speaking of love, so while your foundations and things are shifting and changing as you are, change plus change equals change, there's something here that you say, you still need a little more time to puzzle through. It's a different Four of Swords. So you showed me Four of Swords twice, which is good. That tells me that you're someone who values reflection, quiet inner work where you have no distractions and you can listen to yourself clearly. You value that. Good. I'm the same way. You need to know when to withdraw and have your own quiet thoughts. And it is, of course, one of your... In many respects, this is where Aquarius and Scorpio have some overlap. No doubt you have that accusation. Aquarius, you don't ever let me know what you're thinking. That's because we consult ourselves first. So it's you know, we will often, Aquarius too, will withdraw because you're going to run your thoughts by you first and foremost. That's why Scorpio does the same thing, except it's at the emotional level. So we'll often be accused of withdrawing when really we're just trying to quietly process. Not everybody has external processors. Aquarius and Scorpio tend to have internal processors. Okay. So you withdrawing and having private time to yourself, I completely understand it, respect it, and I wish more people did. Honestly. You, Aquarius, you don't share your thoughts until you're ready. Famously. That's it. And I get it. I respect it. So you're saying there's something you're still cooking on? And it does concern itself with love. And it starts out with a little idea of Page of Pentacles, how to approach it later. You're not there yet. You will be in time. You already know this. It's something that you have quietly reflected upon. I did see, for some of you, emphasis on that Seven of Cups. When you feel that you can breathe again, then for the first time, it looks like eons, you finally allow yourself to open up to the positivity, optimism, possibility of maybe love. But the fact that you're showing me such high levels of strength and freedom tells me, again, you had no idea how much this was weighing on you in all the wrong ways. Perspective. You are still kind of working out the mechanics of potential love orientation later. A cup that you might share with someone else. And getting it started. Or readdressing it. I don't know who this is to. But the pages, yeah, they can handle introductory energy. Okay? You're still processing that. And for some of you, reintroduction. You might know them. I don't know. But you need more perspective on that. Obviously, you have quite a bit to process already. Leaving behind a whole foundation or even parts of it, which I believe is what you're doing. Parts of the foundation, not the whole thing. Just the parts that honestly keep you trapped or etc. We've already been through it. Those are the parts you are parting ways with. But in time, you sense that you'll be in a position to address a particular intimacy between you and someone else, getting it started, readdressing it, something like that. Okay. It's lovely, it's simple, it's thoughtful, but it needs more development. Okay. Three of Pentacles, Four of Cups, the World. I see. It is with somebody you know, but we have parted ways with them. We didn't want to. Four of Cups. It's looking like neither one of you wanted to part ways with each other once upon a time. But for one reason or another, guys, I'm not backtracking. I'm not trying to do that today. This is not a love story, but it's there. The person whom you contemplate about kind of generating activity with in due time, when it's time. Again, this is the primary objective right here, and that's already quite a bit to be working with. But you're saying the only identifier that you are able to give me today is a Three of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the World. This is something that you need more perspective on. You are interested in investing potentially in a love union with somebody that you have recognized as being a friend, bare minimum, of the past, and you're saying that you haven't spoken to them in a while. Okay? You recognize it, and you're saying the other person would recognize it too. So again, this is someone whom you know, but how far that history goes, I don't know. It feels kind of far away. It does feel kind of far away. And the last thing stood, there was disappointment on both sides. You're not unaware of it. But you're also saying, when it's time, I can readdress it. I'd like to. But in the interim, you have quite a bit to be getting on with. So, And, you know, there's 1,000 reasons why things like that cycle out. They didn't take off at the time. It was circumstances, who knows what. The laundry list is forever. Thing is that it's on your mind. You are aware of it. And if you reapproach it, then it's because you're ready to reapproach it. I just really like how you're no longer allowing that sense of apathy. The Eight of Cups and the Devil bullshit. Eight of Cups and the Devil is, I suppose, best summarized as apathy. So that's a lot to overcome. And I'm glad that you're overcoming it. But you have so many other priorities and they're all lovely. Okay, good for you. You and your loved ones are safe. New Moon in Cancer. This is the stuff I'm talking about where it's not a complete foundation wipeout. You are keeping parts of that foundation that are absolutely critical to you. And that's coming across as strongly supportive and or oriented family and friends. There's people who are part of your network that are supportive in the right ways. That don't subtract to you, they add to you. Okay, that's the parts you are keeping. So for those of you who are parting ways with certain parts of your foundation, the ones who actually matter and need to stay in your life will be, okay? And work through your fears. New Moon in Scorpio. Yes, saw that right about here. You've doing that. You've been doing that. And you working through your fears is a direct recognition that you've been holding yourself back from your full energy for God knows how long. Not an accusation. That's just what's here, okay? And you're doing a brilliant job of working through that. Okay. The energy is gaining momentum. Oh, yes, indeed. You'll be feeling it more so, I believe, in your birth season. The empowerment principles. But what I really like here, Aquarius, is lovely and is beautiful and secure. Keep your security in mind. You are secure. Okay? You can do this. After that, there's a full respect here of everything that has to be done. You don't disrespect it. You don't not acknowledge it. You do thank it for what it was. But you also part ways with it. Gratitude. That's what I say, you know, always offer gratitude for all things that end. Even if it ended poorly, you know what, I thank you for what this was. It wasn't the best, but I learned a lot from it. You know? That's a true marker of not only empowerment, success, but maturity. Okay? And I stand by that. All right. Lights and love, that's what I'm saying. There's a certain level of respect that's coming from you in the process of ending these things. I wish you nothing but light and love, but these things I must part ways with. Again, there's a certain level of respect here, and I honor that you respect that. Okay. Energy healing, yes. This is an ongoing project, and that will never stop. This is a good thing. These are our meditation practices, our healing practices, our praying practices, whatever it is that helps get us more in tune with who we are and what we believe. Nutrition. Be mindful of your nutrition. That makes sense. You did show me some physical energy over here at the upfront. Be mindful of your nutrition practices, how you are feeding yourself, literally feeding your body, and what's good for you and what's not good for you. We should know what those things are. So if you're doing something that you know is provoking ill health, perhaps stop. If you have become neglectful of your body, get back and be mindful with it. Not just your energetic, spiritual practices, but your physical body too. So that includes how you feed it. Okay? And this is very common, by the way. Nutrition is extremely common at the beginning of the year. New Year's resolutions, this is extremely common. So don't be impressed with that. Everybody gets this kind of stuff at the beginning of the year. Okay. This is what's impressive, honey. This is what's impressive. The joy you feel. The release and letting this go, and the optimism that I see you feeling for the first time in a long time. That feeling of aliveness, you know. God, you can't put a price on that. You just can't. You just can't. Some things you can't put a price on. Six of Pentacles, even Ten of Pentacles, extensive as it is, you can still technically put a price on it. But that level of sense of personal freedom, buoyancy, vibrancy, that doesn't have a monetary value. None at all. If you can't feel those things for free, you most certainly won't be able to buy it. Even if you could. T-E-Y-C. The arrow of Sag, like I said, I did see for some, you might have a little spike rising. For some of you, Sag is rising. Or Sag is north. I can't see it. I literally saw it as being rising, the arrow rising. Anyway, strong influence of Sag, and for some of you, Cupid's arrow, yes, of course. And then for others of you, that is the lines of message of communications about your intentions and how you're following through with them. I am seeing that rapidly take place at the beginning of the year, but it's good and it's direct. Okay? The Great White Shark in reverse, Scorpio energy, I did see that on one of the oracles right here, but also it's in the reverse. Something here we're just not pursuing anymore. It's not a matter of life and death anymore. It's non-pursual. We no longer see this as something that we have to hunt as do or die. Okay. Aquarius, honey, this was a great reading. This was absolutely fantastic. I like it a lot. I like how much you've learned, how much you're processing and coming to terms with you and what stays, what goes. But mostly that you're able to breathe again. Okay, I hope this helped. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.